So it feels like the message for the year is get creative, and we're back in session like many of you guys are. I have students here on campus. We wear masks. We socially distance in the classroom every which way. So where normally I would meet once a week in chapel, where I can fit maybe 140, 150 students in our chapel, I'm now limited to 40. Because when you go 6 feet in every direction, you can only fit so many seats up there. And so that means that we have to do multiple chapel locations. And in those multiple chapel locations, I'm trying to keep them together so they build a little bit community. I toss it to them to have some prayer time as opposed to me just praying on the screen. I let them, pray in groups there in the rooms they're in. But again, I do want there to be a worship service. I want them to be able to sing and stand up and worship how they normally would. And so we're trying to do as much the way we would normally do it, even if our location isn't exactly where we would like it. But I tried something this past week that I think worked really well. I live in Florida, and so there's a lot of weather factors that I got to look out for. Is it 114 degrees outside? Is it pouring rain? Are there mosquitoes everywhere? Is there an alligator that thought this was a lake even though it was just the front yard? Normal things that most Americans deal with. But I kind of caught this great little moment. I go outside. It had rained the night before. It was still a little cool. It was still overcast, so it wasn't super hot. There was kind of a breeze out. And I did a quick reaction move. Let's go outside. I set up the outside speakers so that we could, talk and sing and whatever else we needed to do, and let the students gather outside. And I think it went really well. They felt a little less encumbered, a little less, they're sitting seats 6 feet away from each other. You might as well be a million miles from each other. Because they're outside, we kind of let them mingle a little bit more together. And it was great. We had a prayer time, like kind of a popcorn prayer. Man, so many students got involved. It was a long prayer time. So I know they were engaged. Obviously I have to just kind of read body language and kind of listen at lunch to see kind of did that work. And I can just tell you, yeah, I think it went really well. I think the students really enjoyed that. I am going to try it again. I have some planned times where we're going to try to do a worship service outside. So just don't forget something that, God provided us. He provided us outside. And I don't have a gym. Maybe that's something you do have. If you have a gymnasium, obviously that gives you some more options on how you can meet and gather. But I'd love to hear any other ideas of what is working for you. I'll keep sharing what is working for me. We'll keep this conversation going.